Hello, this is Melissa, your insurance exam queen, and we are here on this channel to help make sure you can pass your insurance exam with ease and confidence.
Now, I made these numbers up to make a point. And, this is not unrealistic. So if you want to buy a certain amount of insurance and at age 25, it costs $215. If you wait a year, it's going to cost you $220. Notice it doesn't go up very much when you're young and in your 20s. It goes up, but not a lot. Now look at the change from 25 to 35. That's like a 33% increase from 215 to 340. Now, once we start getting up into what we'll call the age of wisdom,
Thank you.
now it gets to be a little more serious. The exact same policy cost a 45-year-old $515 or a 60-year-old $800. So what we find out is that term insurance as we go along in our life becomes really cost prohibitive. A 75-year-old is not going to buy term insurance. Okay. It's going to be outrageously expensive. And it's still going to end. There's a good chance you're going to die when it's expired. To make this worthwhile to your family, the old joke is hurry up and die. Because if you have the policy and it expires, you gave money to the insurance company and, oh, that's a ripoff. Well, do you want to die? I mean, did you buy this because you want to die? No, what we buy it for is for protection. So we can sleep at night knowing that if tomorrow is the day God calls me to the choir, my family's going to be okay. It's that peace of mind we buy it for. We don't buy it hoping we die. Right? Let's just tell the truth. But for term insurance, we want to remember a couple things. It's lowest cost, it's temporary, and as we age, it gets to be really expensive. Okay. Well, all insurance is expensive as we age. Okay. There's no bargains out there as we're in the 70s, but term insurance in particular, because of its nature and it's temporary, at a certain age, it doesn't make much sense to buy it. Okay. Now, I'm going to start off with the first term policy. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It'll just be our secret of three of us. I don't have a single insurance company that sells this policy anymore. But it's a very important policy to help us understand how this works. An annual renewable term. The word annual tells me that every year you get a new rate. So every year when the policy renews, your rate will go up. It goes up every single year. But the word renewable means you can keep the policy. You keep renewing it, but every year the price goes up. And as you saw from the first slide, when you're young, it's not a killer. But nobody likes to have in their budget a bill that every year it's going to cost you more than it did this year. So for that reason, a lot of people say, can I get a policy that doesn't go up every year? And the answer is yes. Just ask us, we'll make it. But the big thing about an annual renewable term is it increases every year. So how am I going to remember that? Annual, right? That means every year. Any of you are gardeners? Isn't there a flower that's an annual? Every year it blossoms. I'm not a gardener. My wife is. So sometimes I hear her talking about it, and sometimes I even listen to her. Not a lot, but I listen to her and then I get it. But an annual is it goes up every year. More about rates. You can buy a 10-year term. Well, how does that work? What we're going to do, let's say it's 25 to 35. And we know the annual renewable rates every year. We're going to hit kind of an average. And we're going to charge you that for all 10 years. So your rate will stay the same. When you're in the early years, you're actually paying a little bit too much, so that as you get in the later years, years 8, 9, and 10, you're paying less. The insurance company still gets the same amount of money, but they just let you budget your payments. Okay. So you can get a 10-year term. And the advantage of the 10-year term is what your rate is going to be for the next 10 years. So for that reason, insurance companies had a hard time keep selling annual renewable terms. This won't be on the test, but you got to know what it is. What's an annual term and what's a 10-year term? On top of that, you can buy a 20-year level term. Now, how's that going to work, Peter? Well, we got to find the average over the 20 years. So the rate will stay the same. So let me just see if you're following me. You have an option of buying a 10-year term or a 20-year term. Which one's going to cost you more to purchase? You don't get kicked out for making a mistake. Just give me an answer.
The 10-year one?
It's going to cost more?
Uh-huh.
That's not correct because, okay,
Okay.
insurance company going to get to raise your rates in year 11, right? You're going to have to get another 10-year term, and guess what? They're going to charge you a new higher rate. In the 20-year term, they cannot raise your rates for 20 years, so they're going to start you off higher.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
longer you want to lock in the rates, the higher it starts at.
So if you're 35, you can buy a 20-year level at the same price. It's going to stay the same price for 20 years, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then after 20 years,
If it's renewable,
if
you
it's
can
renewable,
renew it. You can renew it at age 55 rates.
okay.
When you renew it at what we call your attained age. So for 20 years, you know what it's going to be. If you want it at age 55, you're going to pay more.
Right.
Okay.
So I have go ahead, Ingrid.
No, go ahead, Mark.
This is kind of a personal question. So if I'm 65, let's say, you can tell me, Peter, am I better off getting a permanent policy or a term? You can tell me.
Well, the only way I can tell you is I need to know what your needs are. I mean, at death, what are you trying to accomplish? Are there people you need to provide for? Are you just buying funeral coverage? Are you going to try to create an income for people? Are you trying to create a trust fund for your children? Now we're starting to talk about a lot of money, right? So it really depends what you feel your needs are.
I see.
And then once you know an amount, yes, I think that some point in our lives, you need to get some kind of permanent insurance because you could live to 100.
Well, that's what my plan is.
So in which case your term insurance isn't going to exist, right? The
Right.
policy you're going to have that lasts that long is a permanent policy because it doesn't go away.
Gotcha.
But that's extra money. Permanent's more than term.
Right.
So there isn't a simple answer, but you got to start by saying, what do I need? And then how can we solve that